Hello and welcome to this new video. In this one we are going to see a very important topic, that is the difference between Revit families about or related to architectural and the Revit families related to the structural discipline. So let's try to see these examples in a new project. We are going to open a new model, new RVT file, and as we have done in previous video, we are going to click on Browse, and instead of English Imperial, I'm going to select the English metric template. So I'm going to the English and default metric, this one. Okay. So as we have seen in other videos, this template doesn't provide you a 3D view, only floor plans, ceiling plans, and elevation. So let's try to create a new one. And now we have our 3D view. So what we are going to do in this video, we are going to see the difference between structural and architectural families. So we have already know to create different floors, and now we have seen it in the previous video, and now we are going to create it again. So let's try to go to architecture and floor, and we are going to create in the left part an architectural floor, and into the right part the structural floor. So I click in architectural, I will just provide this floor, and in structure I'm going to select the structural floor. The same I will put in the right side. I'm going to click. As you can see, I will put in shaded and in 3D. I will put in shaded. In the 3D the view doesn't change too much, but in the floor plan, as you can see, there are different annotations and different lines that the architectural, that is this one, doesn't have according to the structural. But this is not important because you can change the visualization way of the architectural elements. So the most important is the analytic element. So I will put and I will add other families, not only floors. I will add columns. So in this one, I will deploy a column, an architectural column. It's going to grow from the level 1 to the level 2. So I will click this, and this, for instance. And now I escape, I press the key escape, and I go to the structure. And I will go to select the column 1, and this one, for instance. I am going to place into the structural part, that is the right side elements. So be careful because the structural columns always grow from the level to the inferior level. So it's important to see these properties and say, okay, I'm going to grow the column in height from the level 1 that I am to the level 2. So I select this, and this. The location is not important. It's just we are just going to see another properties. So I go to a 3D, and I see that every single thing is, well, they have different geometries, of course, but it seems the same. I will put this in the wireframe. And what I mean with the related to the analytic model, well, you have to know that not all the architectural elements have the possibility to be exported to a BIM software related to structural calculation. So, what is the analytic model? The analytic model are the lines that Revit is adding into the center of the elements or into the perimeters, and they are the lines that they are quite common into the structural calculation software. For instance, if I select, I am showing to you another software related to Autodesk, that is Autodesk Robot, focused into the structural calculation. As you can see here, they are not sections, they are only lines. These lines are the analytical elements that need to be implemented in our Revit software. For instance, the Revit exporting to this robot, that is this software, is quite easy, but you need to have these lines. because you are not exporting the geometry, you are only exporting the line. Probably if you have used, for instance, SAP or Zipe or another software, you can see that normally or usually the different constructive elements are always lines. So that kind of lines are the ones that I am referring to. So let's try to clean this and come back to Revit. So can I export these architectural elements and can I make a structural calculation? Can I export these structural elements and I can make an structural calculation? You can do it if you have analytical elements. So first of all, we have to activate the visualization of that part. So you can go to these buttons or you can use the shortcut VV. I am going to use the VV shortcut, or is the same that if I click in this button. So I will use VV, and all the analytical model is located in this part. As you can see, all is deactivated, so I have to select all. Well, I have to click on this. I'm going to select all, and I want to see all the analytical elements. As you can see, no line inside or into the perimeter of the slab is seen. So I need to generate this analytical model. So there is one function quite interesting that is going to provide to you this analytical model. So let's go to Analyze and then Analytical Automatization or Analytical Automation. In this one, I am going to execute a Dynamo script and I need to go, just think about it, I have physical elements and I need to go to the analytical elements. So I need to apply this physical to analytical, and if you are in Revit 2025, you need to use this part. I will click in play and this menu has appeared. I will select all the elements. I am selecting all the elements. Don't worry, because it seems that this new menu has been just hidden. You have to minimize Revit or minimize all the windows, and you have there. I have selected a total of 12 elements, and this script is going to detect all the constructive elements and is going to create the analytical view for each element. So let's try to run. I am closing it, I go to Revit, and now I can see the difference. If you remember, I have selected everything, but it has been only applied the analytical things to the structural families and not to the architectural ones. So be careful, because probably if you start to model with this kind of families, later you are not going to be able to make a structural calculation, because you are not going to be able to generate these analytic models through this tool, the Analyze and the Analytical Automation. So this is quite important. Of course, you can create the analytical model manually, but remember that if you want to use this tool, you should try to generate the analytical element before modeling of the infrastructure. So as you can see, only the structural elements has been implemented with analytical things. As you can see, if I'm going to hide, for instance, or I'm going to select the analytical element, and if I go to the properties, I can see that it's analytical number, it has the structural material, it has the section, and it has all the properties needed to what? To be exported to this software or other software related to structural calculation. In this one, and as I have said before, this is Autodesk Robot. And in this one, well, we have exported another infrastructure, always with analytical elements, and it has been exported from Revit to Robot. So be careful with this part, be careful with architectural elements or structural elements if you want to later make a structural calculation with another software. So that's all for this video. Hope you enjoy it, and see you in the next one. Thanks for your attention. This video and this MOOC is part of the project Digital Twins Infrastructure and Cities. You can find more information through this link and through this QR. Thank you very much for your time.